Ballows.
A very good evening to you. Welcome to Citizen Weekend. Tonight, we keep our eye on the U.S. presidential election, less than 72 hours away. Where will the pendulum settle? It is a tight race. Will it be Kamala Harris or will it be Donald Trump? I'll be getting into that with my panelists tonight. I have two who are based in the United States. We have Joanna LeBlanc, who is a national security law and foreign diplomacy expert, and she will be joining us from Washington, D.C. We'll also be joined by Professor David Monda, who is a political scientist based in New York. And with me in studio, visiting the country from South Africa, but this is the country of his birth, we have Dr. Bob Wekesa, and he directs the African Center for the Study of the United States. He is based usually at the University of Witwatersrand in South Africa, but tonight he'll be joining me in studio. But as is the custom, we begin with the highlights.
Ile mtisha mlikuwa naye ya kuamuka mapema na usiku kututoa kwa kiti, mwende mpiganie hiyo pesa 5 billion ikuwe 7 billion, tulipe madeni ya wakulima ya kahawa wakuwe free.
I bear no grudge. Ousted Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua wishes President well, but asks government to use the same speed deployed to impeach him to pass coffee laws. By the president's side, Professor Kithure Kindiki attends President Ruto's meeting with Kuppet officials.
Lakini sasa huwa na peana tu pen class ni sinafaa watu wanakuja awapea.
A healthcare facility without staff. Why a Form 4 leaver is dispensing medicine at the Koyasa dispensary in Trana North.
Tulidanganywa na juice. Ukabayo chupa ya 100. Mtoto wangu akaanza kutolewa kwa watu wengine. Mama simjui na watu wanasema hawamjui.
A family living in Rwanda Estate, Nakuru West, is searching for their 9-month-old baby who was stolen by an unidentified woman on Tuesday evening. Tonight, I am in the esteemed company of one Yula Nzale, a sign language interpreter. Former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua now says he is ready to move on and focus on his future, saying he harbors no hard feelings against his former boss, President William Ruto. Speaking in Kirinyaga County during a funeral service, Gachagua, who appeared to have taken his removal from office in stride, seemingly gave handover notes for those in office, sarcastically telling them to ensure they resolve the issues bedeviling Kenyans with the same speed they used to kick him out of office. Emmanuel So has more.
In his first public appearance since his replacement on Friday, former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua seems to be a man who has made peace with his fate, giving statements laced with sarcasm. Speaking in Kabare, Kirinyaga County during a funeral service, Gachagua wished his former boss, President William Ruto, well in his future endeavors, saying he holds no grudge against him.
Hata rais hatuna shida na yeye. Sisi unajua tunataka tumpatie nafasi. Hiyo miaka 3 zile ahadi alipeana afanye nini? Atimize, si ndio? Ndio arudi kwetu tena, si ndio? So kila mtu apewe nafasi yake afanye kazi yake. Kwa sababu sisi tulitoa ahadi mingi sana.
In keeping with the reality of his new circumstances, Gachagua seemed to offer suggestions for those left in the legislature who facilitated his ouster, asking them to employ the same speed they used to render him jobless to deal with the coffee legislation.
The same speed and efficiency that you displayed in the National Assembly to impeach Rigathi Gachagua, use the same speed and efficiency to pass the Coffee Bill 2023 to become law. Use the same speed to pass the Cooperative Law Bill of 2023 ambayo itatusaidia kutengeneza mambo ya usimamizi wa cooperative societies.
The former DP asking the government to fast-track the payment of debts owed to coffee farmers.
Ile mutisha mlikuwa naye ya kuamuka mapema na usiku kututoa kwa kiti, mwende mpiganie hiyo pesa 5 billion ikuwe 7 billion, tulipe madeni ya wakulima ya kahawa wakuwe free.
Wewe adui yangu usifurahi juu yangu, niangukapo mimi nitaamka tena, ingapo niko katika giza, Yesu Mungu ni nuru yangu.
Mimi naomba watafute hao viongozi, kina Kalonzo Musyoka, kina Natembea, kina Matiang'i, mahali ambapo walienda, na watu wengi tukue na marafiki. Manake hata sisi lazima tujipange. Kana na hata ndo ito.
Gachagua's lawyers have indicated that they will be filing an appeal to overturn his removal once they receive the full judgment that lifted orders against Kindiki's swearing in.
There was no justice that was done in the National Assembly and in the Senate. And we are going to make sure that that impeachment is quashed and set aside.
The leader's president implored Gachagua to register a political party and give direction to the Mount Kenya region as the 2027 game plan takes shape. Emmanuel Toh, Citizen TV.
A section of governors have called on the Mount Kenya region to remain united despite the replacement of former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua with the new Deputy President Professor Kithure Kindiki. Speaking during a Thanksgiving service for Nyeri Governor Mutahi Kahiga, who graduated with a doctorate degree, the leaders called on the community to rally behind Kindiki and move the region forward. The governors also lobbied for the Nyeri Governor to take national positions to fill the void left in the county after Gachagua's ouster.
Your Excellency, Rigiji sasa umemuondoa katika haya mambo. Hiyo ni kumaanisha Nyeri haiko ama Nyeri itakuwa. Mdhomi ukienda mkikutana na naibu rais mwambie sisi tuko hatuna fujo na yeye. We are okay with that.
This mountain has never divided us. It is just a feature where I've told you tunaonananga siku na mchana. Let us not have a divided region because of politics. The farmer in Chogoria, Farmer Jani, suffers the same fate with the farmer who is here in a place called Madera.
Rigiji was my classmate. Tuliandikwa siku moja tukafanya kazi kama madios na tumekuwa marafiki for over 30 years. But whatever has happened has happened. Najua captain mwenyewe ndiye ana rearrange team yake. Let us remain united.
We know for sure that Kahiga is not just meant for Nyeri. This is material for bigger things for this country, which he is already doing. But I am sure and we trust God that he will continue to do much better than that.
Deputy President Professor Kithure Kindiki was today by the president's side after a meeting between the head of state and the Kenya Union of Post-Primary Education Teachers at State House. On the first day of work after his swearing-in, it would appear that Professor Kindiki is rolling up his sleeves as he takes on a pivotal role in the Kenya Kwanza administration. But what really awaits him in office? The roles of the Deputy President have evolved since President William Ruto took oath of office with a packed in-tray on Kindiki's desk. Melita Oletenges delves into the in-tray.
And make his remarks.
Deputy President Kithure Kindiki has hit the ground running, attending to different events at State House, following his swearing in, taking charge of his new office and the duties that come with it. After witnessing the president assent to the sugar bill on Friday, on Saturday he returned to State House for a meeting with the Kenya Union of Post-Primary Education Teachers, KUPPET, chaired by his boss. Kindiki steps into the deputy president role amid significant political turbulence. His predecessor faced criticism for prioritizing personal political interests over national concerns. It's a crucial moment for Kindiki to carve a different path.
My brother Abrake, I listened to you. The people of Kenya were listening to you. serve without bias, without ill will, without favor, without affection, and without fear.
The role of the deputy president has morphed significantly under President William Ruto's administration, shifting beyond what was originally outlined in the constitution. Initially, in his second executive order upon taking office, the president assigned Rigathi Gachagua several responsibilities. These included chairing public committees, overseeing the implementation of cabinet decisions, leading the Intergovernmental Budget and Economic Council (IBEC), and serving as a liaison between constitutional commissions and independent offices, among other duties.
Very clear responsibilities that will assist me be able to discharge the responsibility, the heavy responsibility put on my shoulders by the people of Kenya.
In Executive Order number 1 of 2023, however, the head of state appointed former DP Rigathi Gachagua to take charge of coffee sector reforms and formed the Nairobi Rivers Commission. 2 months later, President Ruto handed Deputy President Gachagua key foreign policy responsibilities, allowing him to engage directly with international organizations and government entities. This marked a significant shift from the previous norm, where the Foreign Affairs Ministry held exclusive control over Kenya's diplomatic relationships. However, Gachagua's time in this role was short-lived after a cabinet reshuffle. Those responsibilities were transferred to Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi. It is not yet clear whether President Ruto will carve out fresh paths for Kindiki or hand over the mantle of his predecessor as is. But with an eye on the in-tray as he begins his tenure, he is expected to ensure the wheels of governance flow seamlessly. Melita Oletenge, Citizen TV, Nairobi.
President William Ruto's admission of loneliness in the presidency during the inauguration of his new deputy, Professor Kithure Kindiki, lifts the lid on events that led to the unveiling of his running mate in 2022. The president, against the outcome of a vote by lawmakers from Mount Kenya region, chose his former deputy, Rigathi Gachagua. 2 years later, a fallout in the presidency led to the removal of Gachagua from office by way of impeachment, which was followed by a brief court battle before the installation of Kithure Kindiki. Ayub Abdikadir has that report.
From the outset, his choice was contentious. Handpicked by President William Ruto against Kithure Kindiki, bringing to the limelight a first-time lawmaker, whose next role was to help then-Deputy President to win the race to State House. This against the desire of lawmakers who chose the Professor of Law instead. And a long night of vote after vote at the current residence of the Deputy President ended up in a stalemate.
That good Kenyan, my friend, whom I have worked with, especially on the economic model. He understands people issues. He is passionate about ordinary people. A living example of a true hustler who rose from the hardships of the aftermath of our freedom struggle to the pinnacle of professional, business, and political success.
The spell of praise lengthened for Gachagua 2 days later in Madira constituency, Nyeri County, on the pair's first political engagement in the region.
I want also to assure the people of Madira, Nyeri, and the people of Kenya that Rigathi Gachagua is a very strong personality. And I am at home. And I was looking for a very strong personality, because matters Kenya require men and women who are not fickle.
In the months after coming to office, the president giving an inside account of the process that birthed his running mate, making an admission of how he overlooked Professor Kindiki, his now deputy.
Wakati tulikuwa tunapangana pale, tukapangana, nikaita wabunge hawa, nikawaambia sasa nyinyi wabunge, kwa sababu tumepangana vizuri, Mimi nataka munitafutie, mnaona tutapangana namna gani tuwe na deputy wa kunisaidia. Hao wabunge wakaongea, nikaona wananielekeza kwa vijana. Wakaniambia kijana fulani ni mzuri, kijana fulani wa bidii, kijana fulani ni wa namna hii. Lakini mimi niliwaambia hapana, wacha mimi nipangane na huyu Rigiji. Ni kweli ama si kweli? Si ni kweli? Kwa sababu huyu Rigiji ni mtu ya rika yangu. So tunaweza kupangana na yeye, ndio tuweze kusongesha mambo mbele.
An account corroborated by some lawmakers who took part in the voting for Ruto's running mate.
So we whipped each other and we did the second round of nomination. And Rigathi Gachagua got 21 votes and Kithure Kindiki got 38 votes. And we did not agree, and the meeting was scattered, and we were requested to attend the next day, early morning, so that we can now conclude.
Why did you not agree?
We did not agree because the president himself wanted Rigathi Gachagua.
Sharp differences at the presidency in the following months brought to an end what was otherwise qualified as a working partnership. The president and his allies accusing Gachagua of advancing a different agenda, ending with his impeachment, and the swearing in of Professor Kithure Kindiki, who assumes an office he so desired to hold, and a reunion with similar characterization at his inauguration, the head of state deploying the same attributes he used to characterize Gachagua.
My young brother, let me call you Abraham K. or Abra K. Welcome to the service of this great nation, Kenya. You are eloquent, my brother. You are intelligent, my brother. I am confident that you will do that which I have missed for the last 2 years. I know you will.
Ayub Abdikadir, Citizen TV.
Rigathi Gachagua has made history as the first deputy president of the Republic of Kenya to be impeached. The former Mathira Member of Parliament also holds the record of having served the shortest period as DP under the 2010 Constitution. Here is a look at how the former second most powerful man fell from grace and favor with his boss. Brenda Wanga has more.
To the best of my judgment,
I'm sorry, let's take it again.
When he took that oath of office 2 years ago before a packed stadium at Kasarani, Rigathi cut the image of a man eager, almost impatient to ascend to the second highest office in the land.
Truly and diligently serve the people.
He had risen nearly meteorically from a businessman, one-term MP, to the deputy president of the Republic. And just as fast as he had ascended to the presidency, he has been kicked out in a process that took all of 3 weeks, including parliamentary processes and yet to be concluded court challenges. Gachagua was stripped not just of the second highest office of the land, but the perks and privileges that come with it, days before he was replaced by Professor Kindiki Kithure.
But let me live. Let me look after my children. You can do whatever you want with the country.
The fallout between the president and his deputy happened at lightning speed. From bosom buddies who hit the campaign trail together to an estranged couple who couldn't stay in the same space.
I was removed. My private secretary was removed. My chief of staff was removed. So we have no access to the president's diary.
Who removed you?
The private secretary to the president.
Gachagua, who latched on to the Mount Kenya region votes that he said helped propel Ruto to the presidency, vowed to protect that seat at all costs, looking at those he perceived as intruders.
Hiyo ikulu nimeweka mitego kila kona, kila bahali nimeweka, na niko na watu wa kunipigia simu. Wakionekana tu karibu naambiwa.
But he didn't stop there. In his quest for the protection of the presidency and the Kenya Kwanza government, he vehemently agitated for the shareholding narrative in government.
I want this region to deliver a decisive vote for President William Ruto in 2027 and to make sure that we increase our shareholding in his government. from 47% to almost 60%. Many people are uncomfortable about our shareholding. Ni kidogo, is only 47. 27 tutaiongeza, itakuwa mingi zaidi.
It is this push that provided fertile ground for the moving of the impeachment motion that has eventually removed Rigathi Gachagua, once a heartbeat away from the presidency, from that office. In both houses of parliament, Gachagua, or Riggy G, as he was also known, was accused of corruption, insubordination, undermining the government, and practicing ethnically divisive politics, among a host of other charges.
If the deputy president had been quiet, he would have carried many people in this house. But he did not tame the tongue.
But if the Ruto-Gachagua's union was on shaky ground, things escalated after the deadly anti-finance bill demonstrations that erupted in the country in June. Critics accused Gachagua of having a hand in the protests, claims he denied. In an unprecedented move, he went on record attacking the government security and intelligence agencies in the wake of those protests. These actions served to drive even more nails in his political coffin.
So many Kenyans would not have died. Property would not have been destroyed. Offices would not have been touched. There would have been no mayhem. But they slept on the job.
The self-proclaimed truthful man has previously served as a one-term MP for Madeira, personal assistant to former President Uhuru Kenyatta, and district officer before achieving what had been seen as impossible by clinching the running mate slot for the Kenya Kwanza presidential ticket. The 59-year-old Bachelor of Arts and Political Science graduate now has to contend with the title of the man who served for less than half his term as the country's second deputy president. Brenda Wanga, Citizen TV.
More than 5,000 residents of Koyasa village in Trana North have been without a healthcare officer for 5 months after the previous one, a nurse, was transferred. A Form 4 leaver has been manning the Koyasa dispensary in Kibish sub-county in Trana North to fill the gap left by the departure of the previous health professional. And as you'll hear now from Francis Mtalaki, expectant mothers lack maternity services and children continue to miss vaccines.
This is a situation that one encounters at Koyasa dispensary in Kibish area of Trana North constituency. Thorny bushes, narrow roads and dilapidated buildings. This has led to residents complaining of lack of access to healthcare as this lone dispensary slowly turns into grazing grounds.
Hospitali yenyewe ni mgonjwa kuliko hata sisi binadamu. Imagine mtu akikonjeka msituni huko ataletwa usiku. Hakuna hata malaika kuona. Yaani wapi ndio mlango ya kuingia?
Residents claim the hospital lacks basic amenities including power. The nurse who used to serve residents was transferred 5 months ago with no replacement. A young man of Form 4 level education has taken charge and is the current equivalent of a doctor.
Clinic. Daktari alienda kitambo. Tunaishi mbaya sana.
Sasa wamama huku wameamua kujifungua nyumbani kwao. Kwa sababu wanasema wakikuja huku hakuna daktari pia na asaidia huku. Mtoto akisaliwa hawapati chanjo.
Lakini sasa huwa na peana tu pain class yenye sinafaa watu wanakuja awapea like amoxicillin hizo vitu zingine yes huwa na peana. Lakini ikifika time ya mtu pengine mjamzito amepata shida kwa kijiji, so itabidi tu umerifaa mahali daktari anapatikana kama anafaa kama loko Maranyana.
Turkana County Health Executive Member Longole Wangiros says the medical officer was kicked out by residents and there are plans to improve the facility.
Angalia mpaka fence msituni. Hali fence ni kama hata sio hata yani inakaa kama forest. Mpaka manyoka inaingia ndani ya hospitali.
Francis Mtalaki, Citizen TV.
A family living in Rwanda Estate, Nakuru West, is searching for their 9-month-old baby who was stolen by an unidentified middle-aged woman on Tuesday evening. CCTV footage captured at a supermarket within the estate shows the lady who is suspected of stealing baby Rehema Kerubo conversing with 4 children who were in the company of baby Rehema before she disappeared. As you'll hear now from Miriam Nyambura, the woman lured the children using juice and French fries before stealing the baby.
18-year-old Maureen Gesare, a mother of 1 who lives in Rwanda, Nakuru West, is in anguish. It's been 4 days since her 9-month-old and only child, Rehema Kerubo, was stolen by an unidentified woman. Baby Rehema was in the company of other children when a stranger approached them. The children were lured into a trap.
Walidanganywa na juice, ukabaiwa chupa ya 100. Mtoto wangu akaanza kutolewa kwa watu wengine. Mama simjui na watu wanasema hawamjui. Akinaomba tu anirudishe mtoto wangu.
Watoto wengine hapo wenye wamezoea kushinda na yeye, wakaenda na yeye pali wanaenda kukula. Wakiwa harakati ya kutoka, wakapatana na stranger ambaye hakuwa wanamjua. Mama akaanza kumhoji akimuuliza mtu ambaye amembeba anaitwa nani. Mtu akamuelezea ni msichana ama ni kijana, akamwambia ni msichana.
CCTV footage retrieved from a supermarket in Rwanda shows the unidentified middle-aged woman suspected of stealing the child and who had donned a blue dress, conversing with the 4 children. One of them carried baby Rehema on the back. Reports indicating that the children were convinced by the lady that she would buy them juice. At 5:51 p.m. on 29th October, she entered the supermarket, purchased plastic cups and stacked them in a bag.
Akaendelea tena kupanda kumfuata, wakafika mbaya pale panaitwa Trana North. Akawaambia hao wawili wakubwa waendee chips. Akabaki na hao wadogo wakiwa na mtoto wa dadangu kwa mgongo. Baadaye akatuma hao wengine wawili akawaambia hebu leteni mtoto ni wabebe kidogo. Mwende muone mwenye au wenye wameendea chips. Mwende muambie si chips, walete chips kuku. Sasa venye walienda au mama ndaka disappear na mtoto.
The family reported the matter at the Rwanda police post and is asking detectives to track down the suspect.
Sijui mahali yako, sijui hata kidogo. Nimesina kuelewa kama mimi juu mtoto ni wangu. Mimi ndio nimemlea. Niko na uchungu na nimesikia pia nafanya mtoto juu. Sioni pia nafanya. Ninakaa chini kosa katu kalikuwa kama ndio. Lakini tu nasema mam nimelia ya kutosha. Mimi nataka sasa mahali nimefikia. Mnisaidie na kama nataka kupata huyu mtoto.
Huyu mtoto ni mdogo, venye alikuwa mdogo na venye alikuwa ni mgonjwa, alikuwa amesikia vizuri. Hatujui hali yake venye iko. Sasa hatujui venye mahali amekaa mama ako safe.
Nakuru West DCIO Charles Kamau says investigations have been launched and the suspect believed to have stolen the baby will be apprehended. Miriam Nyambura, Citizen TV.
The Social Health Authority has been in operation in Kenya for a month now, with more than 13 million Kenyans having enlisted under the health scheme. However, majority of health facilities still grapple with challenges in the implementation of the program, making it hard for Kenyans to access healthcare services. Our reporter Boniface Barasa paints a picture of how patients in Samburu and Machakos counties are struggling with new changes in the healthcare system, forced to pay out of pocket to access medical care.
At Samburu County Referral Hospital, we meet Galate Lonyasunya, a patient who is seeking medical attention at the facility. Lonyasunya has not registered with Social Health Authority SHA, and she is forced to undergo the registration process before being attended to. Even after registering, she is not able to seek medication due to the inactive status of her SHA membership.
Since I go active kwa SHA, hatuwezi proceed kabla hajalipa 50 bob. Baka alipe hiyo 50 bob ndo tuta proceed kutibu yeye.
Nilikuwa sisikii vizuri, nikakuja nikaambiwa nilikuwa nikitarajia hii chai imeanza kufanya kazi na nikaambiwa nikawekwa kwa system, nikaambiwa yangu bado haijakuwa active. So inabidi tu nilipe pesa ndio nipate matibabu.
Nikuja hapa hospitali kumleta mtoto hospitali na nimeambiwa siwezi tibiwa mpaka nikuwe na kadi ya SHA na tuna mpaka tena tulipie pesa. na hatuna tena pesa.
However, while majority of patients have to part with cash to be treated, patients with chronic ailments are relieved.
Tunaendelea kutibiwa hata kama nasikia wale watu wengine wakisema iko na shida. Hapa sijaona shida. Watu hata ya Nakuru walikuwa wananipigia kama naweza pata nafasi hapa wakuje, kwa sababu walikuwa nasema pale ya Nakuru iko shida kubwa sana.
We only put a human face for chronic illnesses, for example, patients who receive dialysis in our facility, even though the claim system is not working effectively. So all the other clients who are working for the general patients, they pay a fee.
A similar script is replicated in Machakos Level 5 Hospital.
Nilianza hii dialysis na kutoka nianze sikupata shida yoyote. Nilianza na NHIF na wakati huu tumeregister na SHA. Mambo naona inaendelea tu vizuri. Sijaona shida yoyote.
For patients who have chronic illnesses, diabetes, hypertension, cancer, they are supposed to be seen here using their SHA system. So for other patients, we've not yet devolved them to level 2 and level 3s, where they are supposed to start their services.
As Kenyan workers continue to lament the deductions on their pay slips, non-salaried Kenyans have to part with 2.75% of their household's total income annually for SHA.
The hiccups points out the task that lies ahead for the government in actualizing its new health scheme SHA that has replaced the now defunct National Health Insurance Fund, NHIF. Bonfas Barasa, Citizen TV, Samburu County.
We take our first break on Citizen Weekend, but just a reminder of what we have coming up. We are diving into the U.S. presidential election with my panelists. Take a look.